Hey everybody, it's Glenn back in this video to close down my reviews of the X-Men Marvel Legends with a look at the builder-figure of this wave. It's the Juggernaut. But before we get our bath on, as per the few previous waves and as also requested, I'll rank this one. Kicking it off at the bottom of this wave's barrel, it's Jean! Sorry to do this to you, Jean. It was pointed out when I reviewed her that maybe my love of the character had me go easy on her action figure. If that's true, placing her last corrects that, or maybe just indicates how flipping good this wave is. Next, ding 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 ding, Ice Man, who exists as proof that me loving a character doesn't always rose tint my glasses. It's terrible to say I'm disappointed when it's arguably the best Iceman we've got, but still lots of room for improvement here. Next, Kitty Pryde, to me a really solid rendition of the character, but within the ranks of the X-Men I think some might consider her an also-ran, so I fear should this wave have peg warmers she'll likely be one of them, but maybe the Onslaught head she comes with will help her out. Followed by Havoc and perhaps peg warmer number 2 of this wave, as I think is just a bit too simple for some people's taste, just reusing and redecoing the Bucky Cat body that we've seen umpteen times. But to me, simple yes, yet effective, and as they say, simplicity is bliss. Then just outside this wave's medal positions, it's Cable. Never expected him to be this high in the mix of this wave's characters. He was just off my radar. Yet the execution here in the sculpt is just really good. So in bronze medal position, it's brown costume Wolverine. Just a classic character done justice. My silver medalist, it's Deadpool. His accessories offer lots of bang for your buck, and just how can you resist that smile? If you see him on the pegs, pass him by at your own peril. And the gold medal goes to Rogue, the character who for me in Legends deserves most to come out of the shadow of a really piss poor first effort, and one that I feel I've been waiting my entire adult collecting life to add to my collection. And finally, here she is. All things considered, and may just be the best Marvel Legends wave to date, but do pipe up in the comments below and let me know how you rank them. And with that business taken care of, let's now delve into Juggernaut. And it's just as well this wave had such a great character selection and solid execution of those characters, because this Build-A-Figure, I just don't like it. So as the Build-A-Figure on the right of the screen now goes toe-to-toe and nose-to-nose with the Marvel Select version of the character, and my heart just belongs to the Marvel Select version. Side by side, and the sculpt of the Build-A-Figure is shown up to be just woefully simple. I guess more positively you could parlay that simplicity into saying it's more of an animated style, whereas the Select has such considered and varied surface textures both in the costume and skin, and that's complemented by a great deco becoming transformative, giving it a real-world quality that makes me forget it's just a huge hunk of plastic. With the Build-A-Figure, I find it hard to see it as anything other than just that. I guess to its credit it does have some surface texture to his gauntlets, belt and helmet, and it's those gauntlets and his helmet where it's received a paint wash to accentuate that texture. Yet that only really serves to make the rest jarringly flat in comparison. Now the head is a separate piece from the helmet glued inside of it. Compared to the Select, I feel like the Bath head has been glued in the helmet just slightly out of position with mine. Like I'd like to see the eyes more central in the eye holes of the helmet. Of course, if anywhere, Legend should trounce a Select when it comes to superposability, so the head rotates and does move up and down on a neck hinge. The bolts around the base of the helmet there I've always understood to be bolted fixed in position, the helmet being what makes him invulnerable to mental attack, a handy thing to have when you frequently cross paths with Professor X and company. Sure, bolted down would mean if he was a person of flesh and blood in real life he'd turn his head to only be looking at the inside of his helmet, but you know, it's not real life, it's comics. So while admirable that Hasbro have gone for the neck hinge, the gap it creates between his helmet and shoulders does bother me. With the Select, the head just rotates, yet in doing so doesn't break the illusion of the character's muscle, tank-like proportions. Ultimately, it's a question if you prefer form over function. Elsewhere, the Bath wipes the floor with the Select's articulation. So at the shoulder the arms rotate and then they move up this much. There's upper arm rotation followed by a single jointed elbow. Then at the wrists the hands rotate and there's also a hinge, so the hands move down and then also up. At the waist there's rotation and then an ab crunch which moves quite far forwards, doesn't move anywhere near as far back. At the hips his legs move out to the side this much and then they move this far forward and move the tiniest bit back. There's upper leg rotation followed by a single jointed knee. Nope, no rotation at the top of the boot there. Then the feet are hinge moving backwards and forwards, and he has that crazy ankle rocker pivot that I love, with this being his widest stance possible, still with both feet flat on the floor. Not bad for a big guy. Now of course, along with being superhumanly strong and invulnerable, the character is unstoppable when in motion, which makes a charging pose the go-to pose for the character. And with the BAF you can achieve that, although I do wish for just such a pose the foot would hinge forward a bit more. But in terms of articulation, that's a tiny criticism compared to the Select, where its charging pose is a lot less naturalistic. Really, it all boils down to just how hard you want to push the posing in a display. For me, I'm happy with the Select, just looking badass and menacing. So unlike the Abomination Build-A-Figure I recently looked at, and which managed to dodge the bullet of its Select counterpart, this Juggernaut just doesn't for me. Even so, nothing is as bad as the feeling of buying action figures just to get the Build-A-Figure parts, and with this X-Men wave that certainly isn't the case, with each figure in the wave earning their purchase, leaving this BAF feeling like a bonus. So even with my opinion, it's no skin off my nose, no harm, no foul. So guys, I'm so close to 100,000 subscribers now, I can almost touch it. I'd really appreciate it if you guys click the inset video, which will take you to my X-Men Legends playlist. A great place if you need to catch up, but what I'd love if you could do is pick a favourite from among them and share it on Facebook, Twitter, or wherever it will hit some fresh eyes and maybe help me hit 100,000 subscribers sooner. I've got something special planned for you all when that happens, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye. I'm the Juggernaut, Spider Bitch.